Hi, this is George Kao, and I want to show you in this brief tutorial how I use Zoom, which is my favorite video conferencing software. I use Zoom every single day that I have a client meeting. I use Zoom with all of my clients, and then I'm also starting to use Zoom for webinars as well, but I also do Zoom for group client meetings. The wonderful thing about Zoom is that it's not just a one-way thing. I can show my video to my clients, but they can also show theirs to me. We can do like a group meeting where everyone is on the screen together. Today I'm just going to show you how this works with like one other person, one other Zoom user. The first thing to do once you sign up for Zoom and you open Zoom is you're going to see something like this. Obviously your name's going to be here, and you are going to be able to click on this thing called meetings down here, and you're going to see your own personal meeting ID. This is mine. So do not copy this, but you're going to see your own unique number, and this will always be the default way that you can send people to meet with you in your own video conference room. This is sort of like your unique video conference room that will always be there. The easiest way is to click copy to get the link to be able to share with someone. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a document to show you, like imagine this was an email or something like that. I would paste this, okay, and then this will be basically my private room, and then this is the link that I can email. You could basically email when I clicked copy, when I click copy here and I paste it here, it automatically pastes all this. It's pretty amazing. So you could just basically include this. Obviously, it's going to have your name, etc. But you can include all of this in your email, and your user, your client, or your audience member will simply need to click that to go and start a meeting with you. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do this here. Give me a moment. I'm starting a Zoom on my wife's computer so that I can show you how this works. So when it's time for the meeting, what I do then is again, when you log into Zoom, it's going to look like this, but then click on meetings, and when it's time for the meeting, you click start underneath the correct meeting. So if you copied this and sent this one to your client, then you want to come here and click start for here. Okay, so I'm going to click start, and voila, there I am. And let's see, and then give me a second here. Okay, so then now I muted this other computer here. You can see me pointing. I want to show you a couple things. One is that I like to click and drag by the way, click and drag this top part and move this thing around. You can also click and drag the bottom right to shrink or expand the window, okay? So that's really useful. Just be careful not to click end meeting. Well, even if you do, it'll say if you want to end meeting for everyone or just leave the meeting or cancel. So just click and drag the bottom right. What I like to do usually is click on gallery view so I can see my clients side by side. And then I like to click and drag this so that it's the smallest vertical possible so that I can then take notes like this, take notes on the document. But even better, even easier is you can minimize this. So if I click on minimize, okay, this shows up in this small tiny window with my client. This is the other computer. That's why you see me on the side here. So you can put this, what I like to do is, give me a second here if I can show. What I like to do is move this tiny window to just underneath where my webcam camera is. My webcam camera is right up here, and I move this window right up to near the webcam. So as I'm looking, and you can't tell. Let me see if I can show you. Like if I'm looking right at the video on near the webcam, it looks like I'm looking at you. Does that make sense? So that's what I like to do. And then let's go ahead and expand this back. And one thing a couple of quick things here to show you is that this is where I would mute my own audio. So now Kim cannot hear me. This is Kim's computer. Okay, and this is how I mute my own video. So now on the other computer, she wouldn't be able to see me. Okay, and then I want to start my video again. Actually, I should show you on the other side of things. So let's say I'm muting my video from the other side. Then here's what it looks like. this is her profile photo from Facebook, I guess. And so start the video again. Okay, actually, it is confusing to see me like this, isn't it? So I'm just going to stop the video like this. Okay, so here, what else do I want to show you? There are settings here. Click here for audio settings, and then click here for your own video settings. These are your own settings. And then click on Manage Participants, and this will allow you to manage everyone who's in the conference room with you. This is, of course, yourself. You can mute yourself or rename your name here, but you can also do that muting yourself here. This is the other person in the room, and I can unmute her, or I can click More, and I can chat with her privately, or I can ask for her to start her video camera. I can allow her to record the meeting so that if she wants to record the meeting on her own computer, she can do that if I allow record. And if I can removing her means kicking her out of the conference room, okay? So one thing that I get asked is, well, how do I mute, if I'm gonna do a group meeting, how do I mute everyone automatically? In this course, this button down here is mute all. So if I click on that, if I click on this, there's a pop-up box that says, do I want to allow participants to unmute themselves? So of course, if it's a conference call, you want people to be able to unmute themselves to talk to you, then you keep this checked. But if it's a one-way lecture where you don't want people to, you don't want audience members to unmute themselves, then you want to uncheck that, okay? And then click continue. So now everyone is muted. She was already muted, but, and this is, by the way, just for audio. This does not mute the video. Okay, this is just for audio. And then unmute all. Okay, now, okay, I'm going to mute her audio because there's feedback here. Okay, and then click on more to see some more options. So you can mute people on entry, meaning when they come into this conference room, their audio is automatically muted. Okay, so that's a choice you can make. You can also choose to not play the enter exit chime. Okay, and this is on or this is off. It's actually really strange. I actually find that even when this is off, people come in, there's a chime. So maybe there's a bug here, but anyway. Lock meeting means that if let's say I want to only meet with Kim and I don't want anybody accidentally clicking on the link I sent them some time ago to come into my personal room, then I would want to lock the meeting so that no new attendees can join. Okay, and so that's what that means. Okay. Oh, okay, this is either lock. Okay, now it's locked. If I want to unlock it, I have to click here and unlock meeting. There we go. Okay. So let's see what else is important here. Oh, the chat. If I click on chat, you see that this is everyone, which means if there are multiple people in the room and I typed something, okay, that means this is going to everyone. But if I wanted to chat with Kim privately, then I would click here and this is, you see, this is only messaging Kim privately. But again, if I click back on everyone, then I'm messaging everyone. Okay. All right, and then the chat transcript, by the way, is going to be recorded if you record this thing. So let me show you now the record button. Very simple. You just simply click record, and now the video and the audio are both recording. If Kim had turned on her camera, her video would be recording here as well. If she were talking, of course, this is all recorded. Very simple. And then if you want to stop the recording, you simply click here, or you can simply end the meeting. Oh, I want to show you one more thing. Is if I click on speaker view, I can say that I want to pin my video. Let's see, no, or I want to, oh, okay. She has her video muted. Let me see if I can show you what I mean here. Second here. Whoops. Okay. You can basically double click to expand this to the full. Okay, actually I'm not really entirely sure what pin video means. You can look that up if you're interested, but I usually use gallery view if it's a one-on-one conversation. Okay, so I think that's about it. One thing I love about Zoom is that it's mobile friendly, so people can join you even if they're using a mobile device. And let me just end the meeting and show you what happens here. So when I end the meeting, it's converting the meeting into audio and video format that can be played back. And if it's an hour-long meeting, I find that it takes about 20 minutes to convert. So just so you know. Oh, and also I want to show you that if you want to, give me a second here. Okay. Okay, for some reason the chat didn't save. It usually saves the chat. Maybe there wasn't enough words. or maybe you want to click on that button you saw earlier that said save chat within the chat box. Anyway, just that's interesting. It usually save the chat automatically. This is the audio file. This is the video file, and it usually puts it on your desktop. But you can go to, I think, settings. You can go to settings and then choose when you record it, where do you want the recording saved at? Okay, so you can do that. And then here on the home screen, start with and without video. This is tricky because when you use one of these buttons, it creates a unique uh, conference room link. And these buttons do not create the same link as your normal link if you click here and click start. So these are all unique links every single time you click it. So if you wanted to create a private room that will never ever be used again, you would come here and click one of these orange buttons. And then if you want to do a separate type of meeting, for example, I have a virtual co-working space that I'd like to use, that I don't like to use my personal room just because those are for my clients, but I like to use a public kind of room. So the way I did that was I went to home and I clicked schedule, and then instead of putting a time here, I put recurring meeting. Okay, you see how that? I clicked on recurring meeting to make it a consistent link, the same link always for this particular meeting. So if I said public George Cow room, and then question is when participants join the room, do you want their video automatically on or off? I like to choose on because I find that if I have participants' video off, they're very shy to turn on their video. But if I have them come into the room immediately with their video on, they might have a little bit of a surprise in just the first few seconds, and then they get used to it very quickly. And the meeting is much more engaging when people can see each other's faces. So I really recommend this being on. This means my video is on when I come into the meeting by default. Audio options, I would suggest both. So if people wanted to call in only, they could do that, or if they only wanted they want to use a computer, they can do that. So both is good. I like to click on enable join before host. What that means, well, it's not necessary actually. This just means that if people came into the room, the video conference room, before you did, they would be able to interact with each other before you came in. So that's the question, is whether you want to do that. If it was a webinar, like a one-way lecture type of thing, then you definitely do not want to enable join before host, because you want the presentation to be really professional and you start the meeting, that kind of thing. But if it's a conference call, or if it's just with another client, you can just enable them to join before you come in. You can also require a meeting password. I've never done that before, but that's a cool feature. And then I click schedule. Oh, this is a public room. So let's say this was a webinar, like a lecture, okay? Then I want to start the meeting. I don't want people to be able to start talking before the meeting. So I want to click schedule. And as you can see, what's going to happen is, Zoom automatically pulls up my Google Calendar and puts the information in there. But what I want to show you is if I go to meetings, there it is, the recurring George Cow public room there. And I would click on copy to get the URL to send to my audience. And then I would bring up my my email or whatever, and then I would paste, and then this would be my unique URL for that public room. Okay, that would send to my clients. And then, I should mention, people can join via the phone if they want to. They don't want to do video, or they're on the road. And then when I'm ready to start the meeting, again, when I open Zoom, it's like this, but I click on meetings, and then I click on start for the right room that I want to start the meeting in. So I hope that's helpful. Any questions, let me know. Zoom has some great deals. I think there's a free version which you can have unlimited meetings up to 40 minutes, I think. And then there's a $15 version where meetings can be up to 50 people simultaneously in the conference room at the same time for conference calls or webinars or whatnot. So, and then they have higher priced options, which you can have many more people as well. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope you'll have fun using Zoom. Take care.